Hi everyone, my name is Madeline Wagoner and I am a student career advisor at the Cohen Career Center. And today I'm going to talk to you about cover letters. I'm going to give you all the information you need to create the perfect cover letter. So let's get started. So starting with what is a cover letter? A cover letter is your chance to show why you would make a good candidate for the position you are applying to. More than the resume, the cover letter should be specific to the position you are applying for and the experience you have that shows your ability to do the job. Think about the skills the position requires and how you've used those skills in past experiences. Highlight them through story form. Your cover letter also gives you more space and ability to explain your experience, interest, and fit for the position than a resume alone does. Now, looking at the format of the cover letter. A cover letter has three main sections. The first is the introduction, which is usually one smaller paragraph. Then you have the body. The meat of the cover letter is in this section. This usually consists of 2 to 4 paragraphs and showcases why you're a good fit and how your past experience showcases that. Then you have a conclusion/thank you. This should wrap up the central idea of the cover letter, and you should always thank the employer for their consideration in some way. Remember, it's your job to tell them why you are a good candidate and why you would be a good fit. Then breaking up the cover letter into sections and starting with the heading. You should use your resume heading for consistency between your documents. Your header should include your address block and contact info. It's okay not to use your full address. So for example, here it just says Williamsburg, Virginia. Then your employer's address block and the current date you are sending the cover letter. Then talking about the opening, do your best to address the letter to the person hiring. Keep in mind whether you know the person's preferred gender or not. If after an exhaustive search you can't find the name, then use Dear Hiring Manager. The first paragraph is where you can introduce yourself and state specifically which position you are applying for. Sometimes you can explain how you heard about the position, which can be helpful for the employer and you. For instance, if you learned of the position by a connection to the employer, be sure to include the name so you and they can get credit for that referral. This is especially important for the fields that rely on networking ability, like consulting. In some instances, if you are not able to mention a name, they will disregard the application. Always include the position name, even if you are attaching a resume as well. They need to know which you are applying for, and that is tailored cover letter. Often, people use one cover letter for multiple positions and forget to change details. This is an auto red flag for employers. Talk a little bit about why you are a good fit and outline the tone of the rest of the cover letter in the first paragraph. Explain why this organization and job appeal to you. Why this position, not just any position. Explain why you are a good fit for the role or organization. What skills do you bring that make you a good candidate? Now breaking it up into the body showcases some relevant experiences that you've had that show how you're a good fit for the role. For instance, if the role requires teamwork, tell an example of how you've successfully completed a project with a team in either work, academia, volunteer work, etc. If the position's specific skills specify specific skills with software, technology, or concepts, this is your chance to better explain your understanding and use of those. Generally pick out 2 to 3 keywords that are used in many similar postings and address them in the body of the letter. For example, teamwork and communication skills, organization skills, leadership, decision making, public presentations, etc. Come up with 1 to 2 examples of times when you have displayed or learned about these topics. This will avoid your cover letter becoming just a recitation of your resume. Examples are always better than just words. Showing is always better than telling if you can. Remember that this can be more detailed than your resume, and it is okay if you use the example in both places. Also, note on the formatting, all left align, single space with a space between paragraphs. Also keep in mind that overly long paragraphs may be better separated. Now, it's important to remember too to research the organization. Know exactly why you want this position with this organization. Stand out by adding a few sentences explaining why you are passionate and enthusiastic about this organization. Mention something unique to this organization, but then remember to edit this if you're reusing this letter for another organization. To help you find information, some places to look may be the organization's mission statement. Many times you can find this online. Search for recent projects they've worked on. Look at the About page on their website and look over the staff directory, and then look for recent articles or news pieces about the organization. Now, the last section is closing. Reiterate your interest and fit for the position. Clearly request an interview, discussion, or conversation. There's a fine line between aggressive and assertive, so keep that in mind. Include contact information such as a phone number and email in your signature if their information is not part of your heading. Now that we've covered all the sections, I'm now going to talk about some common questions. So the first is, can I be creative in my cover letter? Can I make it a little more interesting, show my style? It depends on the job you're applying for. Are you applying for a writing position or a position at a creative ad agency? Then yeah, you should probably make your cover letter a little less typical. Keep in mind your job you're applying for, the industry, and the organization, and see if you think it fits. You should fit the tone you believe is appropriate for the organization. Also, the organization may tell you they want something atypical in their job posting. Make sure you read carefully what they are looking for, and it has to be something you are comfortable with and stand behind. Just make sure the focus is still on you and your interest in the job and your qualifications. The example here is provided from themuse.com and is an example of a more out-of-the-box cover letter written by a writing intern after directed to write a cover letter that, quote, makes us smile. So moving on to the next question, how long should it be? If you're writing in Word, it should be no more than 1 page. As far as total length, it should be somewhere between 3 to 6 paragraphs. Next question, how do I send the cover letter? You can email it with your resume if you're submitted that way. Save it as a separate PDF. You can always upload it as an additional document if there is no room for a cover letter in an online application. Another question, how do I know if I need one? Most of the time, it will only help you. If the application does not instruct you to submit one and there is no place to include one in the app, you may be okay not writing one. Be sure to follow the application instructions, which may include no cover letters, please. However, in most cases, we would suggest you do include one because it shows your interest in the position, gives you another chance to show your qualifications, and is very professional. Now some final tips for you. Always spell check and proofread. Show it to your parents, your friends. Sometimes it's good to have a second eyes look at it. Be concise, not as concise as a resume, but make sure that you're being clear. Write in an active voice. Avoid overly long paragraphs. It can be hard on the eyes for the employer when they see really long paragraphs. Make sure it's single spaced. Do not indent the paragraphs and double space between paragraphs. All of that is basic letter format. Now, if you need to follow up with us, if you have any additional questions or questions relating to other things that have to do with the whole job search process, you can set up an individual appointment through Tribe Careers. We right now are doing Zoom, phone, or email. If you have any quick advising questions with this, you can meet with a student career advisor. We do general or industry specific, and we can do it over Zoom or email. I also recommend that you look on tribecareers.wm.edu. Also, if you want more information, go to mycareer.wm.edu. Look out for other crash courses and video clinics if you want to learn about resumes, interviewing, how to use LinkedIn, stuff like that. And last but not least, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Good luck with editing your cover letter and making your cover letter, and please reach out if you have any questions. Have a great day.